7:30 may be allowed to expire early. We will be on top of that, but it has occasionally been producing what we call a shear track. So this is a tool that allows you to visualize it a little bit easier, shows where wind shear has been over the past 30 to 60 minutes. It extended all the way back through M49, basically to northern Williams County, right up toward the Indiana state line. So there's been evidence that this cell has been rotating as it's made its way across southern Hillsdale County. Now, if you are in Bowling Green, heads up to this because I want to keep you updated. It is a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect till 7:15, and those skies are getting really dark, especially along and west of Bowling Green on Route 6. This is already pushed through Weston and Grand Rapids. This is a severe thunderstorm warning, capable of winds up to 60 miles per hour. I'm just going to be a little extra cautious with this one. If you are in Bowling Green, make sure you're indoors away from windows because there's a pretty strong storm that is about ready to head into Bowling Green, likely in the next 1 to 2 minutes. Did get a report down in Tiffin just about 20 minutes ago or 15 minutes ago of quarter-size hail that went through the city of Tiffin. That storm now off to the north and to the east and is climbing right up Route 101 and is now straddling, that is Route 24 out there toward Republic, right around Seneca East High School at the junction of 24 and State Route 18. And this is going to continue to move to the east-northeast, should stay just north of 224, but that is a fairly strong storm that does look like, as of 7 o'clock, that severe thunderstorm warning has expired. Still do have the severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Wood County, and our area of concern does remain that tornado warning up in Hillsdale County. But John, want your assessment on this as well. I would suspect, and I think you're going to agree, we're not getting as good of radar coverage here, but a little broad rotation right there. We're hopeful that this tornado warning may be allowed to expire early, but we're going to be here through the duration of it either way.
Yeah, certainly a few optimistic signs. We're at 7:03 right now, and as you pointed out, Chris, this one's set to continue for another 27 minutes. There have been some positive signs towards a weakening or a broadening of that rotation, but one of the things we've noticed over the course of this evening is that some of these storms pulse up and down. In other words, they may weaken for a few minutes, but then they can regain intensity. So you'll want to stay on high weather alert. For those that live in Hillsdale County, yes, we are seeing some positive signs, but until that warning is lifted and we give you the all clear, you'll want to remain in that tornado shelter. And some of these storms do have a history of pulsing. In other words, for a few radar scans or a few spins of the radar beam, they do weaken for a bit, but then the next scan does show a re-intensification. But I do think that what Chris pointed out, based on the latest wind shear tracks, there was quite a bit of wind shear that reported in southwestern Hillsdale County. But as of late, once we reached that M99 area, we did start to see just a little bit of a broadening of that rotation as well. Now, Chris also pointed out some of the hail that was occurring in Seneca County. Our hail tracks feature really shows you one of the other biggest severe weather impacts that is occurring this evening. In addition to that tornado warning cell in Hillsdale County, we do have some large hail reports that have occurred in Seneca County, and I want to zoom in on that green color because that is a color that is usually indicative of some fairly large hailstones to the southwest of Tiffin. Some of these Doppler radar preliminary indications do show you hail that is 1 inch in diameter. So potentially ping pong ball to even golf ball size hail that has occurred. Panning out the view a little bit, Wood County likely also seeing some hail, and Putnam County has seen some hailstones as a result of this system as well. So we're keeping a close eye on a newly minted severe thunderstorm warning as well. I want to reset the radar view for those who live far to the south and east of the Maumee River into north central Ohio. Huron County is now under a severe thunderstorm warning. This is south of the city of Norwalk, and I'm going to put the query tool on this one to give you an idea of Erie, Huron, and Lorain counties. So this one is set to go until 7:45 p.m. This is a severe thunderstorm warning, and it's really in line with what we're noticing, that every one of these storms is really packing a punch. It's 7:05 right now. This is going to continue for 45 minutes with the wind and hail threat as well, and it's really this area of low pressure that is enabling these storms to fire off so quickly. Just enough instability that we're seeing that severe threat now push into north central Ohio. That includes Erie and Huron counties for that severe warning, and we're keeping a close eye on that rotation with the Hillsdale County storm. But as Chris pointed out, some signs of weakening, but we're not going to let our guards down as these storms have exhibited a pulsing tendency or a weakening and then a strengthening again. So we'll keep a close eye on potential re-intensification or at least maintenance of that storm.
John, appreciate everyone joining us tonight for our coverage here live on WTOL 11. A severe weather situation in the autumn season. Our message that we preach that severe weather can occur and does occur any time of the year. As it stands now, 1 tornado warning and about a half a dozen severe thunderstorm warnings. So I'll take you through what we have on a wider perspective, because if you've been here in the Toledo metro, things have been relatively quiet much of the day. You may have heard those outdoor warning sirens shortly after 4 o'clock. Those were activated county-wide in Lucas County for a tornado warning that was east of the Toledo metro, so that may have gotten your attention and maybe heightened your sense of awareness to the overall weather situation today. We're going to start up there toward Hillsdale County, where that is, or rather, we're going to start down here with a new information that John told you about, including Norwalk. This is a severe thunderstorm warning that is now east of State Route 61, crossing or getting ready to cross Route 250. Wood County heads up in Bowling Green as well. This is the severe thunderstorm warning that we've been on top of, updating you really minute by minute with this one. It is working through Bowling Green, really extends down to Route 6 up to about 582, and parts of Dixie Highway getting hammered pretty good from Bowling Green all the way up to about Levis Commons in Perrysburg. Back toward Weston, the worst of the weather is through Weston down toward Deschler. You're in a bit better shape, or will be in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Another severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for Putnam County until 7:15. That does include from Ottawa to Columbus Grove. That is now east of Toledo as this storm continues to shift to the east. It's a near continuous line of storms, really from Leipzig, Ottawa through Columbus Grove, all the way down to about the southern edge of Putnam County, over toward Fort Jennings, or in the vicinity of Fort Jennings. Still do have that tornado warning that is in effect for Hillsdale County, in effect until 7:30, where we have noted or indicated there is some rotation that would now be getting very close to Pittsford, right along M34, and this is going to continue to move to the east. What we have right here, it will show up on the map in just a bit. That's Hudson, Michigan. Right up here's around Addison, Michigan. Where this would be going next, if this rotation is detected to continue, and we still do see some rotation, that is going to be headed toward Devil's Lake. There's a 224 into northern and western parts of Lenawee County, where there's the potential of some rotation. We are still seeing a little bit of rotation, not quite as strong as it was earlier. And to be honest, just in the past few moments, that looks encouraging to me, John, as far as rotation. Perhaps this does continue to weaken, and we may see an expiration before that 7:30 deadline of this tornado warning up there in Hillsdale County. Really want to keep an eye on this, though, because as this crosses during this, it was still well west of M99, and it has made some progress, even though albeit quite slow at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. This continues to track. Eventually, it's going to cross M34 right around Pittsford, and I do suspect that we continue to see this. We're not seeing the proximity of what we would want to see for stronger rotation of that velocity going toward the radar and away from the radar. It's becoming a little bit more diluted, a little bit more jagged, which means we may be seeing that rotation weaken somewhat. It has had a history of rotation, though, all the way across southern parts of Hillsdale County, may continue to do so even as we go through the evening. And again, severe thunderstorm warning, that still is in effect. Boy, how things have changed in and around Bowling Green and just north of Bowling Green as that storm likely kicking up winds of 50 to perhaps up to about 60 miles per hour in some cases. John, that severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 7:15. Any of the latest information coming in on that? Still officially have about 20 minutes left of that tornado warning.
Yeah, and thankfully we are seeing some optimistic trends, but folks in Lenawee County who may be looking at radar to the west at what's going on, I would encourage you to stay on weather alert. Even though there has been some of an optimistic trend in terms of the weakening of that rotation, based on the track of this system, those who live in western and northwestern Lenawee County, stay tuned, stay updated, because this storm is headed in your direction, and it will still pack a punch even if there's not an imminent tornado threat by the time it does arrive in your vicinity. Across northwest Ohio, likely seeing those skies darken up in the city of Bowling Green. The hail threat has been one of the most prominent weather impacts that we've been tracking this evening, in addition to the strong and straight line wind threat. And I know the National Weather Service, just like us, keeping a very close eye on potential developments with some of these severe thunderstorms. It does appear that areas to the west of Bowling Green, out towards Williams and Defiance counties, are starting to see quieter weather for the evening. But this line of thunderstorms that is essentially draped from Putnam County up towards Bowling Green Green and right along the Maumee River. That is really packing a punch, and that's going to gradually shift off to the east as a cold front moves through along with that area of low pressure. This area of low pressure has really caused some headaches this evening as far as the severe weather threat is concerned. But once this line moves on through, then we are finally going to see some quieter weather evolve over the next couple of hours. But until that time arises, each one of these storms is going to continue to pack a punch. And right now we're at 7:11 p.m. So we still do have about another 19 minutes left on that tornado warning, or until it expires. And we still do have some time left on some of those severe thunderstorms that are also ongoing into northern Indiana. National Weather Service, as of 7:10, has decided to continue this tornado warning, still moving to the northeast at 20 miles an hour. So perhaps they are going to ride this one out until 7:30 for that expiration, Chris.
Yeah, a conservative measure at that. We're optimistic that we're seeing a decreasing trend overall in some of those velocity signatures, but still in the midst of a situation that has produced tornadoes, especially across northern Indiana, has prompted several tornado warnings here in northwest Ohio. And if you've been joining us here in the Toledo Metro, it has been relatively quiet. Perhaps you were alerted to the outdoor warning sirens earlier today when eastern Lucas County was under a tornado warning shortly after 4 o'clock. That did produce multiple funnel clouds out there toward Rocky Ridge. We have a near continuous line of storms that extends from Bowling Green all the way down through Ottawa, and in fact west of Lima at this point. So these storms, they're really just grazing the Toledo Metro. I don't have any imminent risk of severe weather here in the Toledo Metro. In fact, what I'm going to do for you, I'm actually going to show us a downtown cam as some of those darker storm clouds are off toward Wood County. That is that severe storm that is south toward central Wood County, but look what is being revealed in the western sky. If you're here in the Toledo Metro, you're treated to a beautiful sunset as some of that light rain continues to fall and those clouds move off to the east. So just keeping our viewers here in the Toledo Metro connected to what is going on across northwest Ohio, because there are storms all around northwest Ohio, including a tornado warning up there in Hillsdale County, severe thunderstorm warning here in Wood County that does include Bowling Green, and a severe thunderstorm warning just outside of Norwalk, right down 250. That does include the threat of some large hail and some gusty winds that could reach towards 60 miles per hour. That strong storm we just showed you from our downtown Toledo camera, that is a severe thunderstorm warning. Officially about another 2 minutes is this storm has weakened a little bit across central Wood County, although I'm sure it's gotten your attention in Bowling Green and just north of Bowling Green up to about 582, right to the south end of Perrysburg, where some heavier rain is just being reported. That does extend back toward Weston, where you're in essentially the clear for that risk of severe weather in and around Weston. So keep that in mind. Do have some lightning that's associated with many of these storms, and that lightning risk will continue to be a risk to any outdoor activity. So where it stands right now, and as we're able to do so, we're going to wrap up our coverage when we feel that we're in the clear of any imminent danger with tornado warnings or severe weather. Still do have a handful of counties, including Erie and Huron County, Wood County, down into Putnam County, where active severe weather warnings are occurring, severe thunderstorm warnings, and up there toward Hillsdale County. As John just brought you the latest information on that, it was confirmed just after 7:10. We're going to take a little bit of a longer look at that one up into Hillsdale County. But meanwhile, things in the Toledo Metro, I don't have any imminent risk of severe weather. Some beautiful skies behind me, John, as we are starting to see that sunset. John, what is the latest up there in Hillsdale County with some of the storm reports coming in?
Yeah, we're still going to ride with that tornado warning likely until it is expired or until 7:30, even though the Toledo Metro may be seeing beautiful skies, very turbulent looking skies across other parts of northwest Ohio. We got this photo coming in from Hamler that shows you some of the ragged looks of those clouds as the storm approached, the leading edge of that storm. And that is likely what folks in Wood County are seeing as well, with those skies turning gray and lots of lightning and thunder as well. So a very different sight depending on where in the metro you live. This main line of storms now moving to the east, northeast, stretching from Ottawa towards Bowling Green. And behind this one, I am hopeful that we start to see some more tranquil weather, but really this line has packed a punch. Now, I do want to get you the latest information on our severe thunderstorm warning that continues to impact portions of Huron and Erie counties. For those who live far south and east of Toledo, this one goes until 7:45 p.m. We're at 7:15 right now, so another half an hour or so on this one. I'm going to move over that text box marks to give you an idea of where some of this lightning and thunder, as well as some strong gusty winds occurring to the south of Norwalk. There is going to be the severe threat of seeing not only the straight line winds, but also the hail. Latest on shear tracks, not seeing quite as much in the way of rotation. You'll notice in southwestern Hillsdale County, there was that direct line moving from southwest to northeast. That is where there was turning or spinning in the atmosphere, and it's not quite as evident over the last 15 minutes or so, so we are keeping a close eye on that as well. Now, for those who live in Henry and Putnam counties, it does appear that the NWS has canceled that warning, so Henry and Putnam counties no longer a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect. Those towards Erie and Huron counties, there is still a severe thunderstorm packing a punch with some strong winds as well as some hail. But for the rest of northwest Ohio back here, yes, these are still some very strong storms, but they are no longer severe warned. So we are hopeful that as the time approaches sunset, some of those storms are going to exhibit a weakening trend. Still keeping a very close eye on Hillsdale County. This warning set to expire in another 14 minutes. We're at 7:16 p.m. right now. We've been on the air every step of the way, monitoring that storm that was exhibiting some stronger rotation earlier. I'm going to get over to the velocity scan and see if we have any updated information. You know, it's become a little bit more disjointed as far as the velocity, but there is still certainly some rotation that may be occurring with this one, just not quite as evident as it was earlier on in the evening. So we're going to continue to ride with this one until it is expired at 7:30. Chris?
Yeah, John, a couple updates as well that are going to be coming your way. You're exactly right. We're going to continue to ride with it, just making sure that everyone is all clear before we send you back to our regularly scheduled programming. It is a courtesy that we do for you, for your friends, your family, your neighbors. Just know and trust that the WTOL 11 weather team is here for you when severe weather threatens, and perhaps it's not tonight. Your number may not be called tonight, but several of our community members are under at least the risk of strong to severe storms. Have had a couple of those severe thunderstorm warnings expire as we hit 7:15, as John had mentioned, which is a good news type of scenario as we expected. As we get closer to about sundown time, we're going to get closer to those storms weakening considerably. Let's take a look over toward Doppler radar. This is what we still have as far as active conditions, and we're staying with this because it has had a history of some stronger rotation as it's made its way through Hillsdale County. No confirmation of anything ever reaching the ground. That hasn't been determined yet. It is just Doppler radar indicated rotation up into Hillsdale County that is now along and crossing M34, and this is going to end up being drifting what I suspect is just north of Hudson, Michigan, right along 127 up to about Addison. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to slide just a little bit to the east here into Lenawee County. Should this continue, or at least the risk of a strong storm, this is a very popular location here in southern Michigan, from Devil's Lake over toward Manitou Beach, over toward Onstead, right along 223. We're seeing that risk. If this was to continue, these are the areas that I just want you to be extra alert. Should that tornado warning or at least a severe thunderstorm warning continue, it is along 223 up to about Devil's Lake, with the trajectory of this one going just to the north and to the east. And again, it is back to the south and west of you here. It is a tornado warning up to about Route 127, extending from Hudson to about Addison as far east as that tornado warning does go. It is right along M34. We're seeing a little bit of weaker rotation in this area, but John and I both have given the assessment that we don't expect that rotation to look or present itself as strong as it has over the past half hour or hour. Quick look at some of that storm relative velocity, which is indications of where we could be seeing some of that rotation. There it is, a little bit of weak rotation. Generally speaking, though, if the atmosphere hadn't acted like it has today, really spinning up a lot of tornado warnings, you might look at this one and say, well, perhaps no big deal with this one, but we're being a little extra cautious, as is. The tornado warnings issued by the National Weather Service indicating that this still could be an area that we're slightly concerned about, or at least monitoring very close as an active tornado warning. Will go in effect or stay in effect till 7:30, and we'll continue our coverage. As meteorologist John Birchfield had mentioned, great way to stay informed, the free WTOL 11 weather app. We update you, we inform you every time alerts are issued for our area. And we also provide you information when we're all clear, and we're getting very close to that, not quite in that all clear yet. So Hillsdale County, the one county that we have under an active tornado warning at this point, a little bit of rotation, broader rotation, but still evident and still reasonable enough to say, let's just see where it goes the next 10 minutes. Is that tornado warning has been in effect until 7:30. Still want you in your safe place, though, if you're out there toward Hudson, Michigan, even as far north as Addison, anywhere along M34, Hillsdale, you are not officially included in this, but eventually, John, now that we're getting really close to sundown time, I suspect we're going to get to the end of this very soon this evening.
Yeah, Chris, there is likely to be a weakening trend over the next hour or so, and that tornado warning set to continue for another 9 minutes or so. Now, we always encourage you to stay in that safe spot. Only when the storm has passed, only when the threat has passed, is it safe to take any photographs. But we are starting to see some photographic evidence of the turbulent skies. This was a photo sent in the vicinity of McClure and Deschler. Of course, that photo was taken after the storms were departing, but we really can see that shelf cloud feature, which is essentially the leading edge of this line of storms, and there is some evidence that this was lowering at one point or another, and that can be a precursor to a funnel cloud that is sometimes known as a wall cloud. That was essentially just seeing some of the storms earlier that pushed through Henry County. Now we're keeping a close eye on still the lingering severe threats. There has been a number of hail reports that have occurred across northwest Ohio and southeastern Michigan as well. Additionally, the strong straight line winds packing a punch with this, monitoring this area of low pressure that is going to be slow to depart, but once it finally does within the next couple of hours, we'll be able to give you a rest easy tonight on WTOL 11 News at 11 p.m. that the storm threat has passed for the night. Now, those in Lenawee County still eagerly watching this storm system, wondering what impacts are expected here locally, and there has thankfully been some optimistic trends. Folks in Lenawee County still stay on weather alert, still have that WTOL 11 weather app, but I'm not seeing any imminent signs that this warning would be extended into Lenawee County. We're on air right now at 7:22 p.m. and this tornado warning for Hillsdale County is set to expire at 7:30. So about another 8 minutes or so on that one. And also across northwest Ohio, still some very, very strong and potent storms spanning from Bowling Green back towards North Baltimore. And the only active severe thunderstorm warning for those who may be just tuning in, this one is set to continue until 7:45 p.m. So another 23 minutes on that one. For those who live in north central Ohio, closer to the lakeshore, Erie and Huron counties, out towards Lorain County, that storm is really strong with some gusty winds as well as the risk for some hail as well. Now across the Toledo metro, you may be hearing the thunder off in the distance. There is certainly some rain coming down, but if you're wondering, hey, I see that tornado warning up there, is there any risk of a tornado in the Toledo metro? Not seeing it right now. In fact, there's not even any severe thunderstorms that are occurring in the Toledo metro. Further to the west in northern Indiana, we are seeing some quieter conditions and actually seeing some tranquil skies. Chris, our downtown sky camera, we'll call that one the calm after the storm.
Yeah, this maybe gives you a little sense of security if you're joining us here in the Toledo metro. What a gorgeous sunset as some light rain is gently falling. We'll be very clear that we don't have a risk of severe weather right now in the Toledo metro. So we appreciate you joining us, and just please know that it's a courtesy we'll extend to you as well when storms threaten the Toledo metro. Downtown Skycam, we'll just take a moment and enjoy this beauty during some of the storm coverage because it is a gorgeous view over downtown Toledo. Still do have a tornado warning that is in effect. Brand new update as well that's going to be coming your way, John, and we're going to highlight this. Multiple counties that have gone under severe thunderstorm warning moments ago. I'm going to take you up to Hillsdale County first, though, where that tornado warning is in effect another 7 minutes. That until 7:30 as this continues to head toward Route 127 along and north of Hudson, Michigan, up to about Addison. Heads up in the Devil's Lake area and over toward northern and western parts of Lenawee County should anything get extended. Now, here in the Toledo metro, do want to advise you of what we have. This is a brand new severe thunderstorm warning that is just south of the Toledo metro that extends from Hancock County all the way up to northern Wood County, just south of Perrysburg. This does include, let's say, Lucky and Pemberville. We're right down 199. That is some pretty heavy rain. John, if you could scoot me down a little bit, get me more towards central Wood County. I want to see what's going on here. Bowling Green, we mentioned that heavier storm that came through Bowling Green. This is more congealed build into a pretty steady line of storms. It's likely producing winds of 40 to 50, even up to 60 miles per hour. That's extending through Wood County and down then eventually toward Hancock County as well. This is a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect until 8:15. Now, a couple areas of concern. I want to take you out here toward Erie and Huron County, where it's a severe thunderstorm warning. Now, I've been watching this very close, and some storm relative velocity does show there's some elements of a little bit of concern here east of Norwalk. I will tell you, I'll be very clear on this. Should this be upgraded to a tornado warning, this is going to be headed toward the Cleveland metro area. And it will be something that our sister station over in Cleveland would be covering, because this is now pushing east of Norwalk. Just wanted to update you on it because we've been keeping our eyes very close on that one over toward in and around Huron County and Erie County. Again, about another 4 to 5 minutes, we've got a tornado warning that is in effect for Hillsdale County. We've seen a weakening trend on this one, and we're hopeful that will continue. John, we do have some brand new severe thunderstorm warnings. I'll just be clear what we intend to do for our coverage this evening. Once the tornado warnings expire, we'll send you back to regularly scheduled programming. It doesn't mean that we've forgotten about you. Yep. We'll continue to cover any severe thunderstorm warnings with regular cut-ins on the WTOL 11 weather app, which is a free download. And of course, on our social media pages, we'll keep you up to date on any additional severe thunderstorm warnings. So we'll take you up to the bottom of the hour and we'll see where we stand.
Yep, certainly a good idea, because those severe thunderstorms really packing a punch, bringing some ominous skies to the region. We're getting a lot of photos coming into our weather center and our email inboxes, including this shelf cloud near the city of Bowling Green that has seen its fair share of severe thunderstorm warnings over the course of the evening. Essentially, this is the leading edge of a line of thunderstorms. It's often associated with an uptick in those strong winds. We could be seeing 50 to 60 mile per hour winds within that line of severe thunderstorms. And as far as rotation is concerned, nothing imminent for northwest Ohio, but based on the atmosphere that has occurred this evening, we'll keep a very close eye on things. There have also been some hail reports. We've talked about Seneca County seeing hail that was reported. Back towards Paulding County, some hail reports, and our one lone funnel cloud report. That was from that warning that was in effect around 4 to 4:30 p.m. earlier on this evening. And of course, in northern Indiana, several reports of tornado touchdowns that caused damage to structures and buildings. So that gives you an idea of why we treat these tornado warnings with such severity and continue to monitor them even when it does appear that there is some sort of a weakening trend. So that lone tornado warning set to expire in about 3 minutes time. We're at 7:27 right now, but this line of storms moving towards the cities of Tiffin and Fremont, that is really packing a punch. We're seeing hail as one of the biggest threats, as well as wind. Now, we can use the hail tracks feature to give you an idea of where some of the hail may be occurring with this one. And that blue color, that is indicative of some very large hailstones potentially between Deschler and North Baltimore. We're seeing a signature of some hail that could be up to 1 inch in diameter. Also between Weston and Bowling Green, a bit of a more muted appearance with that blue color. So it is likely the hail is a bit smaller, with the largest hail that is occurring and moving towards North Baltimore. So North Baltimore, this type of hail can certainly be damaging and cause some serious disruptions to outdoor plans. So severe thunderstorms, you also want to get indoors, away from those windows and doors. We're at 7:28 right now, just awaiting the expiration of this. It really does appear that this cell has weakened substantially. I'm going to show you a loop over the last 30 minutes or so. We saw some of those brighter red and orange colors earlier, and there has been a diminishing trend that has been notable on that. It's 7:28:30 right now, so we'll wait for the expiration of that one. However, across northwest Ohio, these storms really packing a punch, and I showed you this photo of the shelf cloud associated with the leading edge of that storm. Certainly some strong and powerful thunderstorms in northwest Ohio too.
Yeah, John, looking at the latest data, I'm near positive that tornado warning, it should be dropped right now. Yeah. So we're going to be able to send you back to regularly scheduled programming at the bottom of the hour, coming up here at 7:30. Just a quick recap to let you know what we will continue to cover as we enter into the evening. That tornado warning that you do see up toward Hillsdale County, we don't expect that that's going to be extended into Lenawee County. That should gently be able to expire coming up in less than 60 seconds. But new information in the past few moments. If you're anywhere in Wood County, northern Hancock County, out there toward parts of Sandusky, Seneca, and down, or Seneca, Sandusky, into Ottawa County, there is a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect, and that will continue as strong storms roll out of Wood County. So much of the focus and attention right now is across Wood County as that continues to push to the east. We still do have a strong storm if you're out there toward Norwalk and you're catching our signal and you're monitoring our coverage, that is from Norwalk and east. It's going to be headed over toward the Cleveland metro. So there are numerous counties under a severe thunderstorm warning. We will continue to update you with regular cut-ins into the evening on the free WTOL 11 weather app, and as needed, we'll be able to cut right back in. But we do anticipate that in just moments from now, we're going to have active severe thunderstorm warnings for Wood County, northern Hancock County, and you're going to see as we strike 7:30 right there, that tornado warning, just as we expected, has been allowed to expire. Well, we appreciate your continued trust in the WTOL 11 weather team following our storm coverage here in early autumn. Just goes to show we can and do get storms any time of the year. And when severe weather does threaten, make sure you trust the WTOL 11 weather team. And of course, have that free WTOL 11 weather app downloaded and ready to go. We will be back to update you on these severe thunderstorm warnings as they progress east of I-75 and keep you alert on the latest. And should be back in immediately should any additional tornado warnings be issued for our area. For meteorologist John Birchfield, this is Chief Meteorologist Chris Vickers. We appreciate you being with our coverage tonight. We'll send you back to our regularly scheduled programming.